Hi, I'm Jonathan from Some Talented People. Today, day two, we're looking at a deeper look at CR, his home life and abuse he suffered as a young man, and it's pretty heavy stuff. But CR, tell us a bit more about your specific journey.
Um, a lot of people who know me, even with what I put up on LinkedIn, have said your history is pretty vicious. I don't think you had a good history when you were younger, and I will completely attest that I don't think I had a good history when I was younger. I can't say that my life was horrible. I didn't lose limbs. I do have scoliosis, which is interesting. And they almost put a brace on my back as well, but that was wonderfully not didn't happen. But by the time I was 18, by the time I was 16, pardon me, I'd moved 18 times. So I never learned to connect ever in my life. When you're supposed to learn to connect in school, when kids are around you and you learn to connect with other people, other peers your age, you learn what's good, let's learn what's bad, learn what's right, learn what's wrong. I didn't because I would be at a school for a couple months and then move and then start all over again and then move and then start all over. And after a while, I just went, why would I try to make friends? I'm just going to lose all my friends anyways. So I just became extremely introverted.
Withdrawn.
Didn't talk to anybody. Wasn't friends with anybody. Just lived in my own little world. And I lived that until I left home. Now, when I was a baby, I was born in Kingston, and mom and dad separated. They divorced when I was 1.5. And I lived under my mom, who said she was very abusive. I don't remember it. And then when my stepdad moved in, he was even more abusive.
Physically?
Yeah, very much. We'd go downstairs to play on the pool table, play pool, and he would get me to count how many shots he made to clear the table. And I was young, and I had a horrible memory, which I still have a horrible memory. I'd write everything down. And I would forget between two shots. Well, what number? I don't know. I don't remember. Why don't you remember it? He would take the pool cue, and he broke more than one pool cue across my arm or whatever. Just would hit me with it until it broke. There were several times where I wasn't allowed to go to gym class because of the bruises that were on my body. And mom and dad would just write a note saying I wasn't feeling well.
So it wouldn't be detected.
Yeah. So I went through a lot of physical abuse when I was younger. And at 16 years old, I'd had enough, and I knew the law. So I left. I left mom and dad at 16 and said, that's enough. I'm done. And I tried to fit in at that time. Tried to fit into the world and everything at that time, but I had no experience. So everybody you learn when you're like grade 4, grade 3, oh, this is the wrong crowd, don't live with them, I learned all that at age 16.
Wow.
Then I got into the military at age 17, which changed a whole lot of things in me. I did very well in the military. I almost finished top candidate in my course, which was really good. I got 96.4% in performance-oriented electronics training, which is the hardest course in the military for technical basis. So I have a very detailed mind, but I was never very good at following orders. In the military, that gets me in a lot of trouble, all the time. I was always in trouble. I was smart and good, but I was always in trouble. And then after I did a few years in the military, I got out because I wanted to change what I was doing. And I traveled and went all over the world. But I tried to learn who I was, and I'd never really gotten out of being introverted. And when I got together with a girl for several years. And eventually I found out that she was cheating on me with 5 other men.
5.
And 5 other men. And one of them was married. And I only found this out when I had bought her an engagement ring and took the day off work and went to her house early and met him in her house.
Wow.
And he was waiting for her to get off work. And I walked in the door, which was locked, but I had a key. And he's like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "What are you doing here?" And we sat down and had a long talk. And that destroyed me because I was going to be married to that girl.
Wow.
And that was the first time I dropped into depression. And seriously, I took my car into the middle of the parking lot and thought about ending my life there. Almost did. Came really, really, really close. Because to me, she was my world, and if I couldn't see someone who was so deep in my world, absolutely betraying me in every step, then what can I see in the world? Where can I find things? And I didn't have a whole lot of friends because I still was fairly introverted.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's nothing here in life that gives me anything that I want. I don't have friends. I don't have people I know. I don't have people I love. My father and mother situation, I left there. They didn't love what I felt loved me. My mom did, but she couldn't show me with my stepdad there because my stepdad would beat her.
Wow.
So I didn't feel love there, and I didn't feel love at school, and I didn't feel love with friends. And then when I finally found love, she went and found love somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I was like, what am I doing here? Is there any use for me being here? I don't know exactly what stopped me at the time. I don't remember, but I didn't go through with it. But I have a plan. Even to this day, I have a plan, which is interesting. So I'm not complete, I don't think, but I feel depression is a very serious situation because when you're in it, you can't see it.
Yeah.
You can't fix it. You don't know how to help other people. You don't know how to help yourself. And when you want someone else, hey, listen, this is what I went through. It gives you the freedom to go, hey, listen, you know what? I should say the same thing, or I feel more released to talk about how I feel. And if you feel more released, someone is out there to help you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is the reason we're doing this, isn't it, CR? Is to show people that no matter what our position in life now, that we've come through struggles. What interests me is when you said you were in trouble, you didn't follow orders very well. I would not find it hard to imagine that the association with authority and those beatings was the reason that authority represented something you didn't want to know about.
Yeah, I would agree. My stepdad was extremely authoritarian type person. He was a very authoritarian type person. And I completely, one of my friends said, how come you don't freak out when we were in training? And I said, this is a fucking party here. You guys have no idea. These guys can't make me mad because they're 1/10 of what my dad used to do. They're really nothing. They're really nothing at all in comparison to what I've already been through. So yeah, this military training is easy.
Yeah.
He was an alcoholic.
Right. So he was
and his dad was also an alcoholic. And his dad taught him everything he knew.
Yeah.
And his family name was, if you saw them walking down the street in his town, you'd walk on the other side because they could beat you up just for.
Wow. Thank you, CR. That was truly remarkable. I very much appreciate your candor, and hopefully people out there that have had similar experiences can take some comfort from knowing that things can improve.